Hi, my name is Krook, and I sat down with the co-founder of Triumph, Jake Laumann, to talk more about the future of the organisation and answer some questions from fans. So Jake, what is your Triumph vision?
So there's really two passions that I have. One of those passions is exploring new game opportunities like we've done with Apex Legends and TFT, allowing Triumph to get in at the ground level of new titles and potentially build our way up to a tier 1 roster without having to take on the financial burden or the stress of whatever it would take to get a tier 1 roster in one of those long-lasting titles like a Counter-Strike or a Dota 2 or a League of Legends. And then one of my other passions is looking at those games like a Counter-Strike or an Overwatch, Dota 2, League of Legends, and being a bridge for people that are in tier 3, that are really hard workers, that are grinders, that are really committing their lives to this, that don't understand, what does it take? What do I need to do? And what sort of home can I find myself where I'm surrounded with other people that have the same drive and ambition that I have to get from where I'm at to where I want to be. And so I want Triumph to be a home for those people. I can't necessarily provide all the resources or the best teams in the world to compete in those games. And I, to be totally honest, don't necessarily want to compete at the highest level in those games and spend tens of thousands of dollars on rosters or players per month. I'd rather try and help find people that want to get to that level and can utilize the resources and utilize all the awesome work that everybody at the Triumph organization puts in to help put them in the spotlight and get them one step closer to where they want to be.
Why did we pick up a new CSGO team?
So CSGO was the birthplace for my love of esports, as I competed as a semi-professional player, and I ended up casting and working in tournaments, through the Rivalcade brand that we have, of course. And so CSGO will always hold a special place in my heart. And so I always wanted to get back into CSGO in some way, shape, or form, and be able to utilize all the knowledge and the connections and the things that I've built in that scene to help people grow, and again, meet that goal of being able to take them from one step to another step, a little bit closer to where they want to be. I wanted to, kind of survey the land a little bit, dip my feet into the water and see what was going on. And so, at the beginning of this ESEA season, we picked up, what was going to be a very solid squad. And we had our ups and downs with that squad. And to be honest, things just didn't go as well as we expected. And so as we came to the end of this ESEA advanced season, I saw the opportunity as I spent some time, scouting for potentially new rosters and looking at the opportunity of some unsigned rosters that existed that really wanted to work hard and really needed the resources that we were able to provide to just take them over that little edge to get to, get to that next level. And so, with our acquisition of the Quest roster, I'm very, very excited to kind of double down on our CSGO division, and I think that the team will speak for itself.
What are your hopes for the Overwatch scene, and where do you see it going in 2020?
I'm really, really excited about Overwatch moving into 2020. I know that there's been a lot of talk about all the changes to contenders and whatnot, and I think pretty highly of the changes. I think one of the things that people fail to understand is contenders, yes, it should be a place where teams and players can make a little bit of money and can kind of live and compete, but it doesn't need to be a place where you intend to have a long-term career. It's supposed to very quickly move players to the top and eventually, obviously, move them into the Overwatch League. So it's not supposed to be a place where you spend a lot of time and a lot of energy. But from a business standpoint, I obviously am interested in being able to make some money from contenders and be able to continue to build Overwatch teams. And there's a lot of work that Blizzard needs to do in that regard to get it to a place where teams like myself and some of the other teams that are in contenders, including academy teams, can continue to do that. Moving into 2020 with our acquisition of the Exalt roster and the Paradox roster, I'm really, really excited, and potentially some more additions that haven't been spoken of yet, that will be able to really accelerate a lot of people's competitive edge and competitiveness by giving them resources and support, both marketing, but on the coaching side as well, and helping with analytics, and providing them some resources from our contenders team, and really kind of creating our own little path to pro system inside Triumph, where you could be an open division team, but you could see, this is what I need to do, these are the resources I need to utilize and abuse and work with Triumph on to potentially work my way up and play on Triumph's contenders roster one day. So I'm always on the lookout for teams, rosters, players, but also designers, marketers, community managers, business people that also want to take advantage of the resources that we have and want to try and take a step closer to being in the Overwatch League or working on a Cloud9 or a Team Liquid or something like that.
Are there any tournaments or events coming up that we should know about?
Based on our Counter-Strike's performance this past weekend, we'll decide whether or not we'll be attending the ESEA Global Challenge LAN that will happen within the next couple of weeks. But if not, of course, we're looking forward to DreamHack Atlanta this upcoming weekend, where our team will be going up against 7 other invited professional teams, some of which are in the top 30, top 20 in the world in Counter-Strike. So that'll be a fantastic LAN event to get our CSGO team at very, very quickly out the gate. There's another Counter-Strike event coming up next month called Fregadelphia in the middle of the month. And actually, during that weekend of Fregadelphia is another Nerd Street Gamer, brought to you by Nerd Street Gamer event in Huntington Beach, which is an Overwatch event. So there's like an Overwatch major in Huntington Beach the same weekend that there's that Fregadelphia CSGO major back in Philadelphia. And so you could probably expect to see teams at both of those events. I'm not exactly sure who will be on what teams or what teams are gonna show up to those events, but definitely our Counter-Strike team at the Fregadelphia event. We're hoping here soon to hear feedback from Respawn and Apex Legends in regards to the next Apex Legends series of events, and we're hoping to bring back a revitalized Apex roster to be able to compete in them.